It's Cameron here, and today's video is all about seller disclosures, so let's get into it. In today's video, we're going to dive into what seller disclosures are and how they affect you, whether you're a seller, a buyer, or you really just want to know more about what real estate is. This will help you understand more about its purpose, how it can be affected, and why it's being used. So really quickly, I've got a copy here for you, and it's something you can go, it's not something that's terribly complicated, it's quite simple really. It basically has information on who the real estate agency is that's supporting or that is representing the seller, and then you've got the seller's information and the address of the property. It goes through a couple disclaimers, but really the whole document, and I'm just going to put it up here so you can see what is going on here. The whole document is really just about different questions that the seller is being asked. There's 7 pages, so there's a lot of information on all of these, and it dives into a lot of the different aspects of a home, from electrical, plumbing, pest control, goes into landscaping, any hazardous conditions, things like that. And it tries to do unpaid assessments, insurance, energy efficiency. So did they install solar panels or anything that's energy efficient, or homeowners association. There's actually, when I say energy efficiency, there's actually a spot just for solar panel systems. It's and they have yes or no questions, and then if it's a yes, a spot where they can describe, and if there's more space needed, they can use the back of a page or something. But there's a lot of information. Verification of seller then verifies that what they're giving you is accurate and true. And then on the back, so if you're the seller, you're going to sign that off. You're going to fill this out to the best of your knowledge. Give the new owner of your home, whoever is in the process of purchasing your home, you're giving them really all the information you can about the home. And that's just right. It's something that you, as a seller, if you were to be buying a home, you would want to know everything about it. You've got to know everything. When you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a property, whether you're going to live there, whether it's an investment, whether you're helping someone else purchase, it doesn't matter. You need to know about the property. It's very crucial that you know. So as a seller, be truthful, be honest, and that will help things go much smoother through a process. And then as a buyer, on the back here, you're acknowledging receipt. And I've had some buyers, and then the seller can update the form. So if they're like, actually, wait, there's something I remembered that I wanted to add that at the time I filled it out, I didn't remember. They have a place where here they can now update it and send another copy over to the buyer with an updated form. But as a buyer, so I'm going to read this, and a lot of buyers that I've worked with have overlooked this, and they think that they're acknowledging to the existence of these and waiving the right to ask for them to be fixed. So if there's some issues, say in the roof, or if there's plumbing, electrical, whatever, there's some kind of challenges on the property that need to be fixed before they buy it. This is not waiving your right. We'll get into another video called due diligence and your right to get things fixed. If there's something wrong with the home, you have the right to negotiate that with the seller. Whether the seller decides to fix it or not is a whole other thing. Generally, you're going to be able to come to terms on a repair that's needed for something. So this document, the seller disclosure document, is not waiving your right to getting repair or negotiating the need for repairs on a property. You are acknowledging that you've received this disclosure from the seller. Acknowledgement, I'm just going to read this real quick. So it's acknowledgement of receipt by buyer. So buyer's signature below acknowledges buyer's receipt of a copy of this disclosure form. And then let's jump over also the verification for seller. So what is a seller saying? And this is seller verifies that seller has prepared this disclosure form and that the information contained herein is accurate and complete to the best of the seller's actual knowledge as of the date signed by the seller below. So if something changes or maybe a damage happened to the property, also that's why you would use that update, the disclosure form update if something new happened. I had that a couple times on properties where a windstorm came through and tore out a couple trees, and the seller updated their disclosure for us so that we knew. In a formal manner, you can do it informally. There could be a text sent or there could be an email, but there also could be a formal version of the disclosure as well, which is always really nice to know that someone's very accurate or being very on top of what they're telling you about the property. So let's see, and it basically, you're just promising as a seller that you're giving accurate info, and that if there's something to be updated, that you'll update it. You'll take care of that so that the buyer knows what they're, what kind of home they're buying. So that is basically it. It is something that, you should be sometimes, some investors, or you've got someone who may not have almost like a third-party owner, really, where they've just purchased the property. They've never lived there. It's been an investment property, and they really don't know anything about the property. There's always going to be something that seller doesn't know, and so when I talk to the clients that are in that position where they really don't know much about the property, they've owned it for a month, they really don't know anything about it. They're just they've bought it, they're now selling it, and I'll have them fill this out regardless. And just know, if you don't know anything about it, mark no. There's going to be a couple of things that you were told from the previous owners, or there's going to be some things that you discovered in your month of ownership, or things that happened that you should disclose. And so I would say never go without this when you're selling, and when you're buying, always insist on getting one. Sometimes you can't get one. Sometimes sellers are, in that position, they're going to say, absolutely not. I just have nothing to tell you. Hopefully they'll give you something so that you really know everything you can know about it, and you get this form put together for you. But other than that, that's what you should know about seller property condition disclosures. Hope you liked that video. We're doing a series of these, so jump on our YouTube and check it out. Subscribe there. Also jump on Instagram and Facebook, because we push it out through those social media platforms first. And that's where you're going to get notified of all the new information that we're giving. Really appreciate your support. Again, subscribe, like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll talk.